day off, we went to practicing to college that we had. And then I didn't know where. Then, I was trying to so I was this one, not like stuff like that. Yeah. It was 6 resources and help you to do it. And then we went to the studios while he was shooting close by. And the director always wanted either you and later Steve to get into the business, but you guys didn't want to any part of it.
That's not true. Daddy didn't want us to.
Oh, Daddy, well, okay, Daddy didn't want to. So, what else you want to know?
Well, I actually wanted you to talk about
for a Christmas vacation, but mostly the summertime and Easter because New York was very cold and very snowy. And when we lived in California, then we never had snow, just on the top of the mountains. And like Papa was very happy because you, Erzsé, and Pistikkel later tudtatok beszélni velük magyarul. And Grandpa and Grandma was very happy about that because my sisters, boys, didn't speak any Hungarian. My sister's reply was, why should I teach them Hungarian? They never going to use that language. But how bad and wrong she was, because when she graduated from college, she went to work to the American Embassy in Budapest for more than a year. So that example that we try to tell my sister, or they end, and it worked out. If she didn't speak any Hungarian, she would never got that job, I'm sure.
Yeah, but that's not what I wanted you to talk about. Talk about Törökszentmiklós nagypapa.
Törökszentmiklós nagypapa was very, well, he was old and he loved the children, he loved the grandchildren. He always was ready to tell stories to whoever wanted to listen. My son Steve, he always interested how in the war in Europe, did he had any part of it, or did he fought? Yes, he did. He was in Italy when he was young, and he was
This
so
was
scared.
World War One.
Mm-hmm. He was very scared. He was very young and very scared. He thought that when the bombs flew around, then that was somebody coming at him, and he always said, "Stop! I shoot! Stop! I shoot!" But that was over too. And we had a very rough life. My parents lost everything when the Russian came. But if you were in the party, the communist party, you could have someone else's house, someone else's villa. They threw us out with 8 kids and my parents. So we had nowhere to go. Just went to visit his relatives down in this small city, and none of them gave us any shelter or
What
food.
was the city called?
Törökszentmiklós. But my father had a friend, and he said, "Don't worry, Charles, whatever I have is yours, so
Who
come
was his
over."
friend?
Charles, well, in Törökszentmiklós.
But who, what, you don't remember the name?
No, I don't remember his name. And we survived, and we stayed down in Törökszentmiklós. When our sisters, brothers grew up, they went back to Budapest and they started their life over there. I was about 20 years old when I left the country with my youngest brother, Steve, and we stopped in Vienna, the Rothschild Hotel. That's where the refugees were stationed. And four of us, Goldie, Margaret, I, and Steve, got to come to America on Air Force plane. Those times was very old. And we settled in Newark, New Jersey. Then my sisters got a job in a small factory in Jersey somewhere. And then when I went to New York by myself, some of those old Hungarian people told my sister that there they sent the young sister Edelu by herself to New York City to look for a job. I didn't get a job the first day. I didn't get a job on the second day. On the third day, I did get a job, the Blue Cross on Park Avenue, $53 per week. While my sisters worked in the factory, they only got $38. So it was happy, we were happy. And when we became citizens in 1962 or 64, I'm not sure now, and we saved enough money to buy a house. It was attached to 4 units, a brick house in Jersey City. And when I saved enough money and bought a nice car, old Cadillac, and I asked my sisters to come to California because I was corresponding with a guy, and I thought that I will surprise him to see what's he up to. But she didn't want to come, so one day I decided, I told, by the way, we filed the papers to bring out my parents so they'll have a better life than they had in Hungary. But my parents got the visa ASAP because parents' quota was the first priority. But I had a young sister who, Maria, that was only about 16 years old then, and she didn't have the quota open, so she could not come. She had to stay behind for at least 3 to 4 months. And my father said, no, I'm going to stay till she gets her visa as well. So then finally, October, they came out together. Well, they lived in our home on 19 Bethlehem, New Jersey City. And my sister didn't want to go to school, didn't want to work because she was young, but she didn't want to go to school. But later on, my parents moved to New York to one of my brother's apartment houses.
In Queens, Woodside. Right?
Yeah, Woodside, you're right. And then my sister let her husband to be, and they got married. But by that time I was in California.
Yeah, and also Margaret kicked your parents out of the house.
So they moved to Woodside then. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what was the reason for it because I don't remember that. But you know better than I do. And so we came for a visit when you were a year and a half old, and we wanted to go home to visit his family, Törökszentmiklós, and it was a winter time. And we stopped by, and then all the family came to the airport because we had about 2 hours overlap to continue to Budapest. That's when your grandparents let you Angie and the other family. Margaret was there, Goldie was there, and I don't know who else. But then we went to visit your aunt and your father's old home where he came from. And we stayed there a few weeks, and then we came back to Budapest to see my brother, and we stayed there too for a few